Hey guys, welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm going to be having a look at how profitable it's going to be to flip on 10 different free-to-play accounts at once. I've given each one just 3 mil each. And I'm going to be focusing on high volume items like death runes, like gold ore, mithril ore, anything that will benefit from having 10 accounts to flip with. Now the main benefit here is you can find one item with a pretty solid margin and multiply it by 10. So if you have an 80k margin, that's 800k you're going to get in profit. So first up here, we're going to try the Death Rune. Death Runes often do have a pretty good margin for a free-to-play item because members use this item a lot. Okay, so not a huge margin on the Death Rune. Next up, we're going to check the Law Rune again. It has a pretty good margin, usually for free-to-play. If it's not more than 5 or 6 GP, I'm probably not going to bother doing it. Okay, so we finally found the Gold Ore. Looks like it has a 10 GP margin. I won't quite be able to buy out the buy-in limit for it, but we'll put it in for 340, and we're going to do around 9k. Okay, not quite 9k. Do like 8,500, maybe a little more than 8,500, 8,700, alright, 8,750 at 340 GP each. So now we're on my first account, so now we're just going to replicate this onto 9 more accounts. Okay, there we go, we're on our last account, account number 10, I'm going to do the exact same offer again, 340 at 8,750 quantity. Okay, so we're going to leave this in for a couple hours or overnight, and we'll come back with a sale. Okay, so we're back and we bought the gold ore on all 10 accounts for 340. So we bought it when it was pretty low, so hopefully we'll be able to get a little bit more than 10 GP. Let's have a look. So we did a price check and we can actually sell it for 357. That's quite nice. That's a 17 GP profit per account times 10. We're looking at actually 1.7 mil. Okay, second account looks like we bought all of them as well. That's nice to see. While you'd think they'd go in order, like the first accounts would complete their offers first, that's not always true, so you actually do kind of need to check all of them to be sure. But here we're on account number 19, so that's the last one, and we actually did buy all the gold ore on all the accounts. And my bad, it's actually going to be closer to about 1.5 mil in profit, but still extremely good. So I would imagine these sell offers should go through quicker than my buy offer. So yeah, we'll check back in a couple hours and hopefully everything is sold. Okay, so we're checking back in and it looks like all of my offers are coming through to sell for 357, which is amazing. And this is actually working quite nicely. The one thing I don't like about this too much is the logging into each individual account, logging back out, putting the offers in. It's a little boring. Not to mention I have an authenticator on each account, which every single time I have to put in the PIN number for, which just makes this process more annoying. However, for the average person who won't have an authenticator on 30 accounts, I think it's actually going to be pretty nice for you. Next up, we're going to do Death Runes, which have about an 8 GP margin on them right now. Now you could argue I should be putting in more offers per account, but I don't have any more money to dedicate to this project right now. The most efficient thing would be to put in 3 offers per account, and then you would be saving quite a bit of time on that. Here we go, we're on our last account now. We sold off all the gold ore, perfect, and now we're going to put an offer in for 235 for the Death Runes, and we can afford just about 10,000 of those, and we'll try it with the Death Runes and see if it works. Okay, we're checking back in, guys, and we sold off our Death Runes for 245, which is actually a 10 GP margin, so we're actually looking at 1 mil in profit from this next flip, so actually very effective once again for Death Runes. Now I am leaving these offers in overnight, so you will actually have to be patient, and it's good to look the items up on a website like G-Tracker or something like that to look at what the low point is going to be on average for the day, because a little bit of this is just natural fluctuations of the item price, which is helping me out. Next up, we're going to try mithril ore, which looks like it has actually, I think, a 12 GP margin on it right now, and quite a bit of volume coming through, so that'll be a good item. Okay, now we're on to account number 14 right now. We're just checking in, and yeah, it looks like we're getting a solid 100k profit per account still. Mithril ores we're putting in again for 176, and we can afford 13k of them. And there we go, we're on to account number 19 once again, another 100k profit. So overall, we're at about 2.5 mil profit just from technically 2 flips. So, I mean, obviously, if you have 10 accounts and 30 mil, you might not be forced to be in free to play, but still pretty effective because you don't have to invest for the bond price, which is going to help you out a lot. So we'll come back when these mithril ores have sold. Alright guys, we're back. So it looks like on at least the first account we bought 13k mithril ores. We'll have to go check the other accounts because I checked the first and last account. Anything in between is kind of a surprise, honestly, at that point. But we're buying them for 176, and hopefully we can still sell them for 184. Looks like the margin dropped to 8 now, which is still pretty decent. We'll still get over a mil in profit from this item. And actually looks like all the accounts bought all the items once again, which is nice. We left this in overnight, and that's kind of why all these items are coming through. But yep, another 1 mil in profit from this flip. So we'll leave this in for a couple hours, and hopefully all the mithril ore will sell. So obviously this is working pretty well, but is it worth your time to do? I'm not really sure. It kind of comes down to the person. every time I'm logging into an account, currently I'm getting about 80k to 100k in profit. Now, obviously this would be much more optimal if you could have 3 items going at once. Where the issues come up is when an offer doesn't go through perfectly like this. So like say I have to go and redo the offer, or I don't get the full amount of money, or a price drops, and then you're not gaining anything at that point, and you have wasted quite a bit of time alternating between the accounts. I think it really comes down to the person. Making 3 or 4 mil with a very minimal amount of work is nice. However, if you had 30 mil and you're just investing in other items, high margin items, you might be doing just as well, but it's still kind of a fun experiment to do. Okay, so we're going to try this one more time, and I'm going to try to actually sneak in 2 offers per account. First up, I'm going to try the iron bar. Now, the buying volume on this isn't as high as I would like, but assuming that I do have the highest buy offer, it should come through overnight, I would imagine. So we're going to try buying it for 217, and we're going to do, well, I guess we'll just do 10,000 of those guys. We're looking at about a 7 GP margin, so that's going to leave us with just over 1.2 mil gold, and I'll try to find one more item. Okay, the cosmic rune is a pretty cheap rune, and it looks like it has like a 2 or 3 GP margin, so we'll try buying it for 112 overnight. Okay, and we moved on to account number 19, so we're going to put those buy offers in. So now it's actually gotten to the point where I have a bit of a different cash amount per account, because some offers didn't fully come through, some I had to sell for a lower price, and just a little bit of differentiating prices per account. So we're just putting in the last offer for cosmic runes, and we'll come check on this in the morning and see how much money we made. Alright guys, it's a few days from now, and I've gone ahead and cashed in all the offers. The iron bars never came through really, cosmic runes didn't much either, but anyway, here's the total cash amount from the 4 or 5 flips we did. It looks like we made about 3.3 mil from about 4 flips. So is this something I would consider doing in the future? Honestly, no. I'm kind of sick of alternating between accounts. It's honestly kind of click intensive in its own way, and it's just not that fun for me. So I'd say some people might benefit from doing this. It's pretty profitable and super easy. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, don't forget to leave it a like, and I'll see you next time.